Make sure you have watched the 2 videos I left for you in the module before you start on the color worksheet. So you're going to go and open to search for the document. Remember, by default, whenever you download things, it usually goes in your downloads, but it's called Color Worksheet 2020, and it is a PDF file that you are going to open in Photoshop. You're going to use the default settings and click OK. And this is what you have. Okay. So we have up here a color wheel. And in this middle triangle, we have an area for you to put the primary colors. I've already put the first one. The primary colors are what can be used to mix all of the other colors that you see. Okay, but you cannot mix any other color to get those 3 primary colors. So your primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. So how you're going to choose your colors is first by using your magic wand. You're going to select the area that you want to color, and then you're going to use your paint bucket to fill. So when you go to your color picker, and you have various ways to choose your colors, but color picker is one of them, you are going to come up and find red, and you are going to find, or actually, let's make this one blue, find the purest blue there is. So we're going to come up here, and I'm going to choose OK, and then I'm going to fill it. And then I'm going to deselect, and I'm going to choose this other one so that I can go in and pick, again, the same pure red, and and get my paint bucket and fill that. Okay. Now you're going to see 3 triangles right outside of your primary. These are for your secondary colors. So if you think about it, what happens when you mix equal amounts of red and yellow? Well, if you come here, you're going to see red up here, yellow here. Okay, what's in the middle? You have orange. So you have to move your slider up, and you want to find something that looks like it's right there in the middle. Then what do you get when you mix yellow and blue and red and blue? Okay, so that's your secondary. I'm going to go ahead and do the orange real quick. Okay, so then you're going to notice that we have this wheel around the outside, and it might be helpful for you to actually open up some videos or even do a Google search to help you find it. But here is what you're doing. Your secondary colors are, or sorry, your outside ring, this is what is called your intermediate or your tertiary colors. And you saw that mentioned in a couple of the videos, and you are going to fill those in. Okay? Then down here you have some of the more common color schemes that you would use when designing graphics, websites, whatever. Warm colors. And warm colors appear on one side of your color wheel. And if you think about it, think about what is associated with warmth. Fire, the sun, those are the colors there. Likewise, your cool colors are on the other side. They're associated with water and cold air. Okay? Analogous are colors that are near each other on the color wheel. Monochromatic are all within a same color family. Complementary are opposite each other on the color wheel. Triad, it actually forms a Y on the color wheel. No, sorry, not a Y, a triangle. Split complementary forms the Y on the color wheel. Then we have tints and shades, and I've already given you a starting color. Remember that tint happens when you add color, or sorry, add white to your color. So each one of these boxes is going to get a little more white, or sorry, add a little more white so that they are a little less green, a little less dark. Then you have shades, and shade is when you add black to a color. So each time here, it's going to get progressively darker. And then at the bottom, you are increasing your intensity. And I'm going to demonstrate real quick how to do this. You are going to use the eyedropper. It's right up here. The eyedropper allows you to sample a color. Notice how when I click on that yellow, it shows up here. So if I click here on the color, notice where that yellow shows up, right there. So in order to make it more intense, I just simply drag and go all the way to that top corner, and it gives me more pure yellow, more intense, and then I can fill it. Oops, I forgot to choose it first. Don't forget that. There it is. And then I can fill it in. Okay, so you'll do that with all of those colors. Now, you have with your Adobe Creative Cloud, you have under Web up here, what is called Adobe Color. And this is very helpful when you're choosing your color schemes. Go ahead and hit launch, and it should open immediately in a browser. Now, they've updated it, so it's going to pop up with some enhancements and fixes. You should know that you can download the themes that you select. You can download them as JPEGs. You can keep your base color when you switch between color harmonies, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you can also download them as, or at least you used to be able to. We'll find out here soon. But anyway, you have up here all of the color theories or color schemes and more that I just said. So wherever this triangle is, this is where your base color is. Okay, so everything that you choose is off of this base color. And here it is right here. So if you are choosing analogous, remember your analogous are simply colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. You can make them more tint by dragging it in, or more saturated by dragging it out. You can loop them around the color wheel. You can even expand them a little bit more. Then you can go into monochromatic. Remember, monochromatic is all within the same color family. So you could, you could choose any color that you want as your base color, and then choose colors around that. Here is your triad. You can see that it forms a triangle, and you think, well, a triangle only has the 3 points, but there's 5 colors here. Well, that you're right, but look how 2 of these have an extra circle for you to be able to choose. Complementary, they're directly opposite each other on the color wheel. So you have your base color again, and then you can choose a couple that are opposite. And remember, these 2 are in the same color family, and then those 3 here are also in the same color family. Whoops. I'm not trying to choose my base color. I'm trying to, or move it. I'm trying to move that one. Okay. Split complementary is your Y. Okay, so you have your base, and then obviously right over here would be the complementary, so we're splitting it. That's how it comes up with the name split complementary. There is a double split complementary. There is a square, compound. Here is shades, how you can add black to your color, and then you can just choose a custom that doesn't really follow any sort of specific color harmony rule, but you can go ahead and pick it based on what you like. Okay. Now, the thing that you need to be careful with in choosing a custom is Just because you like it doesn't mean your client or your teacher will, because rules are there to help you choose good color schemes. So use them wisely. Okay, so if you were going with a theme, you could go ahead and save it here, give it a name, hit save, okay, and then it gets saved to your library. You can name your library, and if you go to, notice down here above or below each of the colors, you have a hashtag followed by a series of letters and numbers. That is called the hexadecimal code. You could simply copy and paste those numbers into Photoshop down here. Oops, I obviously did not copy. Copy and paste, and then the number or the color appears there. Okay. You also have the ability to, after you've saved it, go up into My Libraries, and you can hit this download as JPEG right there, and it'll download an image that you can open in Photoshop so that you can save those colors and sample those colors. And one of the things that's really neat, let's say you have a photo that you want to use. So if you go to Extract Theme, you can then select a file from your computer, and I have a sunrise photo that I can use, and notice that it pulls from this photo. You can push and pull these dots and sample different colors than what is initially picked. But again, it gives you the hex. You can save it, and then you're able to go to your libraries and download that color scheme. You could also extract a gradient from here, which is useful because sometimes you need to use a gradient. So there you have it as well. And it gives you, notice when I mouse over it, it changes, but below the hexadecimal, it gives you the RGB numbers, the hue, saturation, colors, the CMYK, and lab also.